And now, Pujya Atman Sri Swami Jyotirmayananda commences tonight's satsang with a Sanskrit peace chant.
Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti. We begin with mystic sound by Sri Swami Lalitananda, played and sung by Sri Swami Umananda and Rajneesh.
Our song tonight is called The Spirit of Love. Wither and fade, all things must pass away. Death sleeps like drifting snow over one and all, but the spirit of love lives on and on. The spirit of love is like the sun shining on all below. The spirit of love sleeps in every heart. The value of life lies in flowing with the song of humility. When feeling is pure and dullness gone, you know and realize life cannot be without the spirit of love. The spirit of love is like the sun shining on all below. The spirit of love sleeps in every heart. Let the river flow to the sea and enter deep, deep within, feeling like a wave of the endless sea. The spirit of love is like the sun shining on all below. The spirit of love sleeps in every heart. We are recording from the ashram of our revered Guru, Atman Sri Swami Jyotirmayananda in Miami, Florida. Today is November the 11th, 2020, Wednesday evening, and tonight Swamiji will be lecturing on Yoga Vasistha. This is series 2018, class number 288. And now, Atman Sri Swami Jyotirmayananda.
Om Brahmanandam Param Sukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatihitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyaadi Lakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatihitam Trigunaraitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om. Adoration to Sadguru, who is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast as the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. Yoga Vasistha and Nirvana Prakarana Purvardha, Section 30, entitled The Mystic Art of Worship of the Supreme Self, Parapuja. As I have explained to you, souls are all in a worship, trapped in the world process. And worship is that process by which you are free from the predicament of following the path of birth and death. In other words, you attain liberation. And worship has many stages. But here we have come to this stage of highest form of worship. That's the ideal to be attained in your sadhana. But first you must recognize that every form of worship in every stage is very powerful and the best way to follow a purposeful life. But then what is the highest form of worship? It is by worshipping the Supreme Self that a person can attain supreme bliss, which is without beginning and without end. For the goal of supreme worship is moksha, and this is a description of that state of liberation, without beginning, without end. You are always trapped by time. Everything has a beginning and an end. But when you are in deep sleep, suddenly you are out of that trap and you don't miss it. And even when you wake up, all that you say, how wonderful. I didn't know anything. That gives you a subtle indication of what the goal is. The soul is not healthy, dependent upon time and space. The soul is wandering as long as you are looking for happiness in a world of time, space, causation. But that state, which is the essential state of the soul, is beyond time, space, and causation. And you have a little sniff of that state when you are in deep sleep. And you have better sniff when you get into samadhi. And you have the best sniff when you have attained enlightenment. giving you allegorical way of it. There is no nose there to sniff. So what is that state, which is your essential state, which is what the truth is? The real truth behind every reflected sun. There are countless reflected suns in countless jars of water. And each reflected sun is going through countless challenges, facing countless happenings. But the truth behind every reflected sun is the sun that has not gone through any challenges. That has nothing to do with the pot and the water in it. Same applies in relation to your soul. You view your soul as your identity, but your soul is a reflected sun. Reflected Brahman, reflecting in mental process. And the real I am in every individual is Brahman, the Absolute. That I am has never been in trouble. So sadhana is not meant to benefit the I am. The I am is ever-present reality. One who is not endowed with discriminative vision, which is viveka, and whose intellect is weak, mandabuddhi, and tender like the intellect of a child, such a person is incapable of adopting the transcendental form of worship. In order to practice parapuja, your intellect should not be dull. It should not be stupid. It is for such a person that the scriptures have outlined the worship of God through different names and forms. To lead the intellect to gain its subtlety. To purify the intellect. That's the most important point for attaining success in your life. And I'm pointing to practice of integral yoga, action into karma yoga, sentiments into bhakti yoga, will aspect Raja yoga, and understanding movement is jnana yoga. Whenever we describe, when giving 4 names, but the purpose behind it to understand that spiritual movement is a spontaneous movement, and it is a movement is more spontaneous when it is integral. If your head is going one way and your hand goes another way, and your sentiments go another way, then it is not integral movement. But as harmonization takes place, integration takes place, you are really progressing on the path. And so sages have presented different forms of sadhana and worship of God for that purpose, to lead the intellect to a state of subtlety. And subtle intellect begins to present to you the advanced truth. The truth, your body itself is a temple of God. You are never separated from God, even for a single moment. Every breath you breathe is operated by God's will. God is behind it. You must know, again, just from the story point of view, all this teaching is being given by Lord Shiva to sage Vasistha. So we shouldn't doubt the authenticity of these teachings. Devoid of mental serenity and spiritual knowledge, they take recourse to the worship of God in an idol and offer flowers and other materials which are products of Maya. You have to be sensitive to understand this is not underestimating the worship, but simply giving you fact. In spiritual evolution, just like children grow through kindergarten teachings, similarly everyone requires different forms of worship based upon their qualifications. Because every soul has its own qualification. But what is being led to be presented to you is that advanced form of worship does not need a picture of the deity or the idol of the deity, doesn't need the performance of offering of flowers. And what does it need? It needs opening your heart to inquiry. Who am I? And leading your mind to be profoundly involved in discovering the source of love. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. For the sake of self, all becomes dear. What do you love most? And as you go into it, your very self. Then who is that self? Coming to Lord Shiva's description, he is pointing to the lesser stage of sadhana. People who worship idols and pictures, they feel contented. As a result of their worship, they acquire heavenly enjoyments in the form of traveling in aerial cars. This is heavenly car, vimanas, and reveling in heavenly gardens that abound with numerous delights. This is the concept of highest attainment in the mind of the masses. known as Swarga, a celestial plane. All these enjoyments, however, are illusory in nature. So this form of attainment is not the goal, because after your good karma is exhausted, you are born again. It should be noted that when God is worshipped only for the fulfillment of a desire, or for a material object, or for a heavenly reward, the worshipper has turned away from one God, the absolute Brahman, and has become involved in many gods. The fruits of this worship are perishable. And it is this form of worship that is denounced in this context. But if a devotee were to worship God for developing the divine love and to be united with God, then the adoption of a name and form or an idol or symbol is perfectly in order. He may adopt various external measures, such as offering flowers, chanting mantras, and so forth. This form of worship will purify his heart and pave the way for the para-puja, the transcendental worship that is being described in this section. Lord Shiva continues, O sage, now listen to the higher form of worship. Supreme divinity alone is the object of worship. He is the sustainer of the three worlds and is the Lord of Maya. And in simple terms, that supreme deity is Brahman, the Absolute. And next point, that Brahman is the Absolute is your essential nature. The purpose of your worship is to realize I am that. That's the project of the supreme worship. He is the supreme divinity, that's Brahman, permeates all the objects of the world. All the objects, including your mind, intellect, ego. He is the underlying reality behind time and space. He is beyond the concepts of existence and non-existence. Existence and non-existence is called bhava pratyaya. When you watch a show, you become trapped in the illusion created by projections. And in that projected world, there is loss, there is gain, there is prosperity, there is adversity, there is presence, there is absence. But all these experiences are in the realm of projections. And that's called bhava pratyaya. The reality is pratyaya bhava, when projection itself is negated. Rajneesh. So Brahman is beyond the concepts of existence and non-existence, because both experiences are backed up by your vrittis, thought waves of your mind. He is the light behind the luminosity of the sun, moon and fire. This is just a physical, allegorical description. Whenever we talk of luminosity, we point to the sun. But luminosity is clarity of understanding. Reality is allegorically described as something that shines before you. Unreality doesn't shine. And when you talk of reality, it comes in three stages. Physical, backed up by your sense perception. The reality in the form of your bhavana, feelings. And reality in the form of your understanding. The understanding world is described allegorically most luminous. Million suns put together, if you have intuitive understanding. If intuition rises within you, you are having the darshan of God, who is shining like millions of suns. You must understand, even one sun is enough to make you blind. So this is allegorical description. Because the concept of light has to be understood. In Vedanta, when you pursue who is the knower, who is the light of lights, you begin with senses are the light that enable you to experience the objects of the world. Mind and senses. But mind and senses will not give you light at all if there is no intellect behind it. If you go through many more precision of sequence, first the senses, they are the light. The light of the senses is the mind. The light of the mind is the intellect. The light of the intellect is the cosmic mind, Hiranyagarbha. And light of all lights is Brahman. So, we have to work upon that. You let your vichar flow. Every experience that you are having, what is the light behind it? Either it is your sense perception or your mental perception of thoughts and feelings or perceptions of your very ego. But no matter what perception, it is the light of consciousness that allows you to perceive all these. And pure consciousness is a light of lights. That's the meaning behind Jyoti. And that's pointing the finger to Deepavali, when Jyoti is celebrated. Jyoti Shamapi Tad Jyoti. And in prayers, Jyoti se Jyoti milado. Allow your Jyoti, soul, with a ray of light, join with the source of light. He is indicated by Om in the Upanishads. In him, the three states of consciousness are effaced. Therefore, he is called Turiya, the fourth. And just give you a little brief of Om. Om is the mantra, the most profound mantra from the Upanishad, which is the basis of Upasana and Vichar. Upasana, you go on worshipping God in the form with the mantra Om. And Vichar, if you follow a special way of meditating upon Om, with the awe aspect of Om, again this meditation relates to your chakras. Chakras become a simple support for this mantra Om. Your navel center relates to awe, A aspect of Om. At this stage, your vichar is, I am the body. This terminology of Sanskrit word is Vishwa, soul identified with body. But this body is inseparably related to the world, universe of matter. So, if you are body, then you are the entire universal body. And it doesn't require faith. It's pure science. I'm joking a little. Pure science. All the time you say, this is my body. But you ignore the simple reality that this body has come and gone. This body flows from the ocean of matter. Body comes to exist. and like a lagoon, and then it goes into the ocean. It's constantly in a metabolic process. So where is you? If you are a body, then why don't you grow up to understand you are the entire universal body? So that type of relation, you begin your sadhana. I am Vishwa, therefore I am Virat. Now get more settled. How do you recognize you are Vishwa or I am body? By mind. Without mind, the idea I am the body will have no meaning at all. So even the idea that I am the body comes from your mental process. Therefore, you are mind, not body. Body is only a projection operating through your mind. I am individual mind, that is called Tejas. Therefore, I am the universal mind, Hiranyagarbha. So now that connection is the you aspect of Om. You aspect relates to your heart center. Now you come to another level of understanding that mind is operating in a conscious level. But unconscious mind is a causal body. Identified with your causal body, you are prajna. And that prajna is a wave in the ocean of Ishvara, the cosmic causal body, implying God, Ishvara. Ishvara, that is Sagun aspect of Brahman. Brahman with Maya. That Brahman with Maya is the reality behind your causal identity. The first identity was physical identity, and you dismissed it. Then it became subtle identity, and you dismissed it. Now became causal identity, and you dismissed it. And each identity is viewed in two ways: macrocosmic and microcosmic and macrocosmic. Pinda and Brahmanda. And then you have gone through all this. A aspect at navel, U aspect at the heart, M aspect at the Ajna Chakra. Now come to Sahasrara, where all three are transcended. Even Maya drops away. Then there is nothing but absolute self, the Turiya. All this is brought into the mantra Om. The entire universe I, you, all the gods, all living beings, and all objects are nothing but the self. And therefore, we can have a little interruption. See, Lord Shiva is saying to Vasistha that even I, you, all the gods, all living beings, all objects are nothing but the self. This recognition is the best form of worship. Best form of worshipping the Supreme. This is called Para Puja. All I am Brahman. I am all this. All this doesn't exist. I alone am. That Supreme Self is the ever-present reality. He is not distant. He is the innermost self, abiding in your heart. He who is the source of all actions of the body and mind. He is the doer, the enjoyer. These are, in Vedantic inquiry, you inquire into who is the doer, who is the enjoyer. You do your various activities, but who is behind it? Who is the source? You know things, but what is the source of your knowing? Senses are not the source. Senses bring some knowledge, but mind is the source behind the senses. Intellect is the source behind the mind. Cosmic mind is the source behind intellect. And cosmic mind is nothing but Brahman. So who is the knower? Brahman. And similarly, who is the enjoyer? It is he who eats food, digests it, performs the function of inhalation and exhalation. It is he who performs the function of your sentiments, feelings. It is he who performs the functions of your thinking, bringing the dimension of your thought world. He who rules the palace of the body. All these allegorical descriptions of Para Puja. The body is described as Navadwar Pure Dehi. This is 9-gated city. So it's a royalty. It's a palace in which Jiva is Shiva, abiding in this palace of the body. And the residence in this palace is the heart, the cave of the heart, who is beyond the reach of the senses and the mind. It is he who is given an imaginary name, Chit, which implies consciousness. Even when we say consciousness, Sat-Chit Ananda, you must realize these are words. You have given those words through your conditioned mind. Just as the spring season permeates the trees and plants and inspires them to be full of buds, blooms, flowers and fruits, in the same way, it is Brahman who having permeated all, fills this world with his numerous, bounteous expressions. Subtle point that is being brought in this statement, that Brahman is all this. But when you say all this, your mind stays dumb. But when you start saying Brahman is, look at that flower. Look at the beautiful peacock. And so forth. Look at the beautiful mountain. Look at the moon, stars. In other words, we are pointing to the vibhutis of Brahman. Why are you doing that? So that your mind can be gradually trained to still higher level of experience, that not only these vibhutis, but even every speck of the world is same Brahman. In the lotus of the body, the mind gathers enjoyments from the objects of the world, even like a bee that gathers honey from numerous flowers. It is the self that tastes the honey. This to describe is a self that is the enjoyer. Your senses, etc., collect things, and you think that you are enjoying it. But ego is not the reality. Who is really enjoying it? Who is the taster? Who is the eater? Who is the enjoyer? Brahman. It is the self that tastes the honey. The self is the ultimate knower and enjoyer. This entire universe, consisting of mountains, oceans, gods, demons, human beings, and all other beings, this entire universe consisting of all these worlds in supreme consciousness. That's Brahman. In the same way as water whirls in a whirlpool. The world experience is described a kind of a whirlpool. Every vritti of your mind is a kind of a whirlpool. You're not just a single wave. Your vrittis play the same role as your fingers play on your iPad. One vritti. Google's up millions of information. Change the vritti, go into another whirlpool. The wheel of the world process arising out of the modifications of the chitta vrittis, continues to revolve through the attitudes of actorship and enjoyership. You are trapped by the vrittis of the thought of the chitta, whirlpools created by the chitta. Why? Because of the illusion of actorship. I am the doer. I referring to your ego. I am the enjoyer. I am the possessor. And so forth. That ego-highlighted experience is a kind of a whirlpool of thought wave. Brahman is the substratum sustaining this revolving wheel of the world process. Revolving wheel, to go into more precise way to understand, soul trapped by bhava chakra, the wheel of the world process. What's the description of the wheel? First description is the spokes of the wheel. Punya, papa, virtuous deeds called punya karmas. Sinful deeds are papa. They are also described in the terms of dharma, adharma. Led by dharma, you experience pleasure, joyous condition. Led by adharma, you experience painful condition. But when you experience pleasant conditions, you create another illusion of raga. You want to hold on to it. Unpleasant condition, dvesha. So dharma, adharma, pleasure, pain, raga, dvesha, birth and death. These are all spokes in the wheel of the world process. And the central core of this wheel, axle, is your ego illusion. It is Brahman, or pure consciousness, that manifests as the divine Vishnu and destroys the demons, just as the rainy season puts an end to the scorching heat of the sun. To understand more precisely the role of Brahman. Brahman is absolute, but his magical power is Prakriti. Prakriti and Brahman are one and the same. But from the point of view of the conditioned mind, the whole universe and all the cosmos emanates from Brahman through Prakriti. And Prakriti is unreal, Maya, magical power. Therefore, Brahman alone is the reality. Going to further extension, Prakriti comes in 3 stages. Sattvic Prakriti is called Maya. Rajasic Prakriti is called avidya, ignorance. Tamasic Prakriti is simply known as Tamasi Prakriti. Brahman through Sattvic Prakriti, Sattva predominating, plays the role of Ishvara in 3 aspects: creator, Brahma; sustainer, Vishnu; dissolver, destroyer, Shiva. The creation of the world, these 3 processes go on at every moment. Things are being created, they are being sustained, and those things are also disintegrating. All the 3 go on happening everywhere in the world. Now, same Brahman, through Rajas predominating Prakriti, called avidya, expresses in the form of countless reflected souls, jivas. Consider all minds are different pots having different water. And sun becomes as if broken into countless reflections. And the sun is the guiding factor behind all reflections. How will they operate? Who controls the reflections? You can't catch the reflected sun and keep in your house. The reflected sun entirely depends upon the sun. Sun is the ruler, controller. So all the jivas are like reflected suns, governed and controlled by Ishvara. So Brahman as controller, as Ishvara. Brahman as countless jivas. And now, third aspect, Brahman as all the world of matter. And the source of matter described in 5 terms, Panchtattvas: ether, air, fire, water, and earth. These tattvas are subtle elements. And those subtle elements go to a process of combination and permutation, bringing out countless products. These products from the subtle elements include your mind, intellect, ego, your pranas, your body, everything about you. This is all is cosmic matter, created by tamasic prakriti. The reality behind tamasic prakriti is Brahman. The reality behind jivas is Brahman. The reality behind Ishvara is Brahman. That Brahman is all this. And that type of understanding and letting your ego melt into that, that's Parapuja, the supreme worship. And with this I'm going to conclude for today. Om Ram 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 Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om. Prayer for shower of Karunamaya Ras, grace of God over all of you, and the blessings of Shakti, Bhakti and Mukti. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukmuva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyama Mritat. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Nidamaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashchid Dukh Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Hari Om Tat Sat. Yeah.
Are there any questions tonight? Mas?
Yes.
Namaskar and tremendous pranams for tonight's satsang. Was that last piece of Prakriti, Brahman, Tamasic, all that,
Yes.
would you interpret that as defining the essence of Vedanta and Samkhya?
Yes.
Okay.
The Sankhya and Vedanta are one and the same.
Yeah.
Gita doesn't use the word Vedanta, it uses Sankhya.
Right. Right.
They are just the same.
Yeah. So, yeah, I have so many questions, but I'm going to try to keep it focused. So, fascinated with this idea of senses have light, mind has light, intellect has light, and then beyond is Hiranyagarbha.
Yeah.
So, how does the sadhak differentiate between when the subject is observing the objective world, you see these experiences in the world, between projection of your own vrittis or the divine speaking to you through the world? One of the most...
No, all that requires persistent listening, reflection, because there is no difference. Each time you are saying all the world, that again relates to your own vritti, how you are viewing it.
Mm-hmm.
They are not separate. Anything that comes to your computer, they belong to the same energy of the computer. Anyway, that's not.
So can one learn?
Yeah.
And
now the point is not to allow the mind, first stage, to be distracted by so many things of this world. What's most important is inquiry into who am I. So now therefore, first stage, serenity of mind. So when you are serene, you are not trying to figure out which is what. Rather, your attention is, what is my identity? A deep movement which is not seen outside. It's a reflection. And in reflection, your attention moves from body to mind, from mind to intellect, and so forth. Your attention moves from practical reality, which traps you only very limited. What traps you most is your sentimental reality. So we talk about three akashas: bhutakash, chittakash, chidakash. So you begin to lead yourself. First view the bhutakash. Your eyes are closed, internally you are reflecting. But this entire bhutakash is nothing compared to chittakash. Means you have to, suppose you are given a whole city and big lands and millions of dollars. But if you do not have feeling heart, what's the use about that? And when you have feeling in your heart, which has purposeful feeling and fulfilling feeling, compared to that, all attainment is useless. Alpam. Now come to third state. Even all the feeling-based contentment is transcended by a revelation of I am Brahma. Chitak Akash. That type of experience where awareness alone is. Otherwise you have awareness of physical world, awareness of your sentiments, and awareness of your thoughts. But behind all that there is pure awareness. That awareness, this is called vichar. You are moving away from one to another to another. And as you do, you are getting deeper and deeper into samadhi. Until you are absolutely in profoundest samadhi. What Raj Yoga calls it, asampragyata. And you emerge kaivalya. You alone. So that's the subtle meaning behind it.
So then Turiya, Nirbakalpa, and Sahash.
They are all synonyms.
Synonymous.
Yeah.
Okay. So can one practice vichar as he observes the world?
Yes. Practice, first point you have to understand that vichar is movement, is instinctive movement. You don't even have to practice it, but in the beginning you have to practice it. But it becomes a natural. Your mind is keen to understand. That's instinctive in every individual. Even every bird, every animal is keen to understand. But with this vichar movement, that understanding is spontaneous. And you gain the highest understanding, the source of all understanding, pure awareness. But while you are gaining it, it seems subjective. But in your practical world, your personality undergoes a transformation. Your looks won't undergo a transformation. But the role of your body, your mind, becomes like a spirit of spring season. A good person radiates goodness. Even in families, a person who has much more mature and loving heart comes into the family of so many people, and immediately there is a kind of a joy. The person doesn't have to say anything, just the presence. And of course he can say as well, which is very impressive. So that role is played by sages. As you have come to that level, spontaneously you are creating a radiation of upliftment around you. It's called Vasantavat Lokahite Charanta. Just like the spring season comes and the whole forest becomes thrilled. Similarly, spiritual movement, internally, subjectively, the more you become aware, I am not the body, mind. I am climbing the steps leading to Brahman. Similarly, the more you are able to radiate consciously as well as unconsciously. Consciously, you may have a group of people that you share, jnana yajna. Unconsciously, you don't know the names. All are benefited. So these are subtle points behind.
So you made a reference to the 9 gates.
9 gates simply means your 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils.
Okay. And last question. Ahar plus vihar, does it equal achar?
What is that?
Ahar plus
Ahar.
plus vihar, does it equal achar?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
That achar. Achar is pickle.
Oh, sorry. I was okay. I was referring to acharya. Achar. Oh, achar is
Achar.
achar. Okay.
Oh, this is a little nasal. Achar. Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Just a reminder that this coming Sunday, instead of hearing the Bhagavad Gita lecture we normally scheduled, you'll be enjoying Swamiji's Diwali special message for Diwali this coming Sunday.